Hey friends, how are we doing today? So we have another draw along, and this one's going to be a little bit different. It's by far the most detailed drawing that we've done so far. And the big thing to think about this drawing is about spacing and where we're placing everything on our paper. It's really easy to get things a little bit lopsided, and that's okay. This drawing itself, for me, I had to practice a whole lot, and it's still not great. And that's okay, because it just tells me I need to practice more. So today we're going to draw a peacock, and those are very, very detailed and very fun. But let's start off with our paper in portrait, and we're going to start off on the lower half of our paper by drawing the body of the peacock. And it's almost like a teardrop, but we're not connecting it. Let me show you what I mean. So almost looks like a teardrop, but we're not connecting it at the top. From there, we're going to take the neck up from one side and then the other. And it's okay if it's not perfectly straight, because the neck of the peacock is a little bit slender, and it's okay if it gets thinner as it goes up. I'm going to take one side and I'm going to curve it over the top to make the beak and the head of the peacock. Just like that, okay? So normally we add all of our details at the end, but we're gonna start doing some details as we go along on this one. So I'm gonna add a line across here to make the beak, and then I'm also gonna add the details of the peacock's eyes, which is usually inside of an oval shape. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm gonna go across to make the beak, and then I'm gonna come off of that to make a little oval shape there. And I'm gonna add the eye right in the middle of it. Very easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? And then from here, we're gonna add a little bit more to the body of the peacock. I'm gonna come around to one side, and then because this is symmetrical, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Remember, symmetry is trying to make one side look exactly the same as the other. So with that in mind, we're gonna start off by adding some feathers, and we're gonna go off the sides of our feathers. And the side feathers don't have to be as long or as big as the other feathers, but I'm gonna put one on the right side and one on the left. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to do my very best here to make sure they look as similar as possible. I know I'm drawing with a marker. You're more than likely drawing with a pencil, so feel free to use that eraser. But then again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Okie doke, my love bugs. I'm going to prove that to you right now that it does not have to be perfect. So there you go. So there are the first two side feathers of our peacock. Now, instead of going all the way around and maybe getting a little lopsided, we're going to add a top feather right over around the center. Let me show you what I mean from there too, okay? So I'm going up and around. And there we go, just like that, okay? So now it's my job to fill in the feathers between the center and this feather and the center and that feather. And it needs to be the same amount. So I don't want to get off there, so I'm going to start on one side and then add on the other. So whatever I do on one side of my drawing, I'm going to do the exact same on the other side to keep it even, okie doke? So there's 1, 2. Then I'm going to add 2 more. Added 2 to this side, and then I'm going to add 2 to the other side. There you go. And you can see it's not perfect. It's not as symmetrical as I'd like it to be, but it's something if I practice, I could probably get better at. So maybe that's what I'm going to do after this. But let's add some quick details, shall we? So those fabulous feathers have those wonderful ovals in them that kind of look like eyes. So I'm going to start off with a big oval and a small circle at the base of it. Do you see that? And let's go all the way around and do that on every single feather. This one, like I said, has a lot of detail, but also think about when you get your coloring tools out, how fun all the different colors and shades that you can use as you create this peacock. Now, peacocks also have some really cool feathers at the top of their head. It's known as the crown of the peacock. And we're just going to add 3 of them at the very top. One, 2, 3. Now, this peacock, like all of the birds that we've made so far, needs some legs, doesn't it? So let's add some legs. I added just 2 really skinny legs, and then its feet are kind of claw-like, so some zigzag feet right here. So simple. And then let's add our horizon line to show where our peacock is standing. And there you have it, friends. That is our very fancy, very detailed peacock. So think about all the different ways that we can color this in. This would be a fun one with our watercolors, with our oil pastels, with our markers, with our color pencils, crayons, just about anything. You can keep it black and white and do some really fancy decorating with your black marker and just some different additions of like some feathers or whatnot on there. You can even add some fancy feathers off of the top. So I would encourage you to maybe check online to see what a real peacock looks like, what colors you see in the peacock feathers, and just really, get all fancy with this and have fun with it. All right, love bugs, I hope you had a good time with this. This was an interesting one today. I'll be back with more ideas before you know it, but kiss your brains, hug your hearts, and remember, be safe, kind, respectful, and responsible, and have a good day. Love you, friends. Bye.